Alright, hey everybody. I wasn't gonna do this at first, but I feel like God put this on my heart to do. I've been having a lot of visions. I've been watching a lot of visions. And I felt like today was God had really put it on my heart to put this out there for the people because He is pouring out the Spirit. I had about 3 visions, 2 dreams, and 1 vision. My dreams were about war, the rapture, and even some kind of holy battle, which was interesting. And I had a vision about some stars and moons. I don't know what significance that is. And before I say this, I just want to say, you know what I'm saying, if you fighting God right now, please just go to God. Go to God. The time is now. The last couple of days, I've been getting the message that the time for judgment is now. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time to keep sitting back and chancing God's love for us. You know what I'm saying? Chancing ourselves, our eternal lives, our souls, basically. We don't have that kind of time right now. And so yeah, I was just watching the videos today, and I watched this one video, and it said if you've been having these dreams and you haven't posted anything, then post. And this is me posting. So I'm gonna tell you about the first dream, which was about invasion. It was about invasion and war, and I had this dream about 3 years ago, and it was maybe even 2 years ago. It wasn't too long ago. It was about 2 years ago. And in the dream, I was outside. I was riding, and all of a sudden, it was something that went off in the clouds. I don't know. I'm gonna say it was a bomb that went off. I didn't necessarily see a bomb, but the commotion in the sky, it almost just opened up space. You know what I mean? It was like it was so massive that it was a hole into space that was sucking up the oxygen to where no one could breathe, like some kind of oxygen bomb or something. You know what I mean? And during the bomb, I saw 4 to 8 people ascend. 4 to 8 people, and in the view I had, I could see 4 cities. Only 4 to 8 people out of about 60 to 80,000 people ascended. And that's how severe and serious this is. You know what I mean? And that kind of woke me up. But after I saw these 4 to 8 people ascend, and they went straight to space, like as if the bomb or something was sucking them up, but it didn't suck anyone else up. And it had the power to suck you up, but it wasn't. It only sucked the 4 to 8 people that ascended, is what I'm saying. So after I saw these people ascend, I looked to my right, and all I saw was planes, thousands and thousands of planes, and thousands of paratroopers. You know what I'm saying? The sky was black with planes and paratroopers. It was an invasion going on. It was war. You know what I mean? It was a bomb on this side, and they were coming in on from this side. So it was like literally the middle was trapped. You know what I mean? And they came over from Canada, some Canadian mountains. They came right over to Seattle. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of commotion. It was chaos. It was people running everywhere. It was planes falling out of the sky. It was people trying to shoot the planes out of the sky. Citizens, civilians, trying to fight for their home, for their freedom, for the USA. You know what I mean? And it was a losing battle. And immediately I woke up out of that. You know what I mean? And I woke up and it was so real. It was so real, and it was real because I prayed for the dream. You know what I mean? I prayed for the signs. I'm a big conspiracy person. You know, I'm a big believer in Christ, but I also believe in conspiracies. And I prayed for that, and He showed me that. You know what I mean? In my second dream, My second dream was one that I didn't, I didn't, I couldn't even remember the dream when I woke up. You know what I mean? But it was so real and vivid that I remembered enough. You know what I mean? I remembered that my coworker was in the dream, and I remembered that it was a war dream about tanks. These are the two things that I remembered about the dream. Now, when I went to work that day, because the dream was so vivid, it wasn't vivid. It was vivid when I had it. When I woke up, I could not let go of the fact that I could not remember the dream till its entirety, is what I'm saying. And it was one of those dreams where it was like, what does this mean? Why can I remember it, but why do I remember it, but why don't I remember it? So when I went to work that night, as I said, it was two things I remembered in the dream: my coworker and some tanks. Now keep in mind, my coworker that was in the dream, he doesn't believe in God. You know what I mean? But he he's a good person. He's a righteous person. But he doesn't believe in God, and that's the only thing that was stopping him. And me, I'm the type of person. I'm not a preacher, you know. I'm damn sure not perfect. You know what I mean? But I will tell you about God's love and the truth from experience in my own life. You know what I mean? I will share God with anybody with no shame. You know what I mean? And I think that's what he was my confirmation, is what I'm saying. So I got to work, and the first thing he tells me is he has a dream about me, and it was crazy. It was one of the realest dreams he's ever had, and it was funny to me because I knew that the dream was significant from God, but I didn't know what it was. This is the dream that I was telling you about, where it was some kind of holy war. So in the dream, this guy's telling me, you know, him and a whole bunch of people were running. You know, it was chaos. It was people killing people. Everybody was panicking, and him and a group of people were running. This guy says they got to the top of some kind of mall or building, high rise building, to where they were on a balcony, just waiting to die from these people that were chasing them. Then he says, out of nowhere, I came in some kind of tank that drove up the side of the building and rescued him and all these people. And then he said, I was flying the tank. People were panicking. People were doubting me, but I had some kind of flying tank hovering. It hovered over the water, he said. And the last place he said I went to was to go get my mom. You know what I mean? And before he woke up. So the fact that he said I went to go get my mom before he woke up, I never told this guy my relationship with my mom. You know what I mean? And it's not the closest, and it's my fault because it could be closer. And that's what I'm doing now. It's making it closer. You know what I mean? But I know this. I know that had to be from God. Not saying that we gonna be fighting some kind of holy battle against the devil and the demons. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that there is going to be some kind of holy spiritual war, or it's probably already happening right now. You know what I mean? It's a holy war. It's a war within God's people, the church. God's people is the church. It's a war with the church and a war with the world and the devil and the devil's demons. And the third dream, it really wasn't a dream. It was a vision. It was a vision. I was sitting down and I was asleep for about 45 seconds. That's why I say it wasn't a dream. I don't even know how you can sleep for 45 seconds. But I must have dozed off for 45 seconds in some unconscious state. And I was in somewhere, I want to say I was in the Middle East, because when you see desert and movies and stuff like that, that's the only place, that's the caption. That's what you see, you know. I haven't been anywhere to see the natural deserts. So I'm assuming I was somewhere in Europe or the Middle East, and I walked through these caves. I was walking through caves. I got a picture of it. When I came out the cave, I saw the sun in the middle, and directly like above the sun, or like right on top of or near the sun, was some kind of black, I don't want to say, maybe eclipsed, I don't know, but it was a black moon. And I saw a lot of stars. It was a lot of stars. I saw three moons. Three moons. It was the black moon. It was two crescent moons. And they were all like aligned. Like the sun in the middle. And these moons are just, if you look this way, and this way, direct, you could see it. Like, I have a picture. I have a picture right here. So I walked out of this cave into the desert. I walked through the cave. It was a short tunnel. It was literally a cave where you literally just walked through a doorway almost. And it was a short cave. I walked through the doorway. I came out, I looked up. I saw the sun with the black eclipse moon and a star next to it. And directly equivalent to the length and the circumference and whatever measurements that needed to be for the geometry measurements or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It came through perfect to where I looked up and I saw this moon, a crescent moon with some kind of stars on it, with like real life Christmas stars, with like three little moons over it, almost similar to like a China flag, almost. You know what I mean? And I saw that on one side, and it was like pure desert. It was no buildings around. I came out. It was a nice clear sky with the suns beaming. All these stars were beaming. You know, they were bright stars in the daylight. This was the daylight. This wasn't the night times. I didn't see these stars in the nighttime. This was daytime. So I saw three moons on Earth, and I saw this crescent moon with the stars, and directly at the angle with the sun, I saw like with this random star, and these were different kind of stars. If you look at the star right there on the crescent moon, and that plain kitty star, I saw both those stars, which means something, that maybe those stars mean something, and maybe we've been programmed to draw them as kids. You know what I mean? Maybe we have been programmed to draw these stars as kids when they could be actual images from heaven. So I saw these stars, you know what I mean? And I saw this moon. This moon was maybe a regular moon. I don't know. It was just a regular crescent moon, but it was like to the opposite side. Now, I'm not an astrologist or a person who uses space, or I'm not even into that, so I don't know the significance of these moons and the stars lining up like that, and the angles they did with the black moon and the stars right there. I don't know what that means. And first of all, I want to say this. It is the time where God is pouring the Spirit out on people, because I repeat, I am not the perfect saint. You feel me? But in my heart, I do have a relationship with God. And that means something to me. And I know God knows I have a relationship with God. And I read my Bible. I got my Bible right here. If anybody wants Proverbs will teach you how to live. You know what I'm saying? If anybody, Proverbs talks a lot about wisdom and living right, rules. You know. And read Revelations. I advise you all to read Revelations. But the last couple of days, really, with those dreams, and just within time and with prayer, I've been asking God to keep revealing, keep showing me, And the last couple of days, I told you I've been getting that judgment. Time for judgment is now. Time for judgment is now. This is what I've been hearing. Time for judgment is now. I don't hear this voice, but when I sit there without thinking to myself, without thinking any thoughts, the thought, time for judgment is now, comes to my head. So this speaks to me. It rings out to me. It calls me. This time for judgment is now. So, I mean, I've been judged in this last week. I really have. And it's been so life changing for me right now. So life changing. And I believe that right now is a time for judgment where a lot of things is going to come out to the light. A lot of things is coming out to the light right now because it is time for judgment, and judgment time is near. So if you see a lot of things that you thought was in the dark that's coming out to the table and surfacing to the light, things that you would never thought surfaced to the light start surfacing to the light, is because of the time for judgment is now. So take heed, and choose this day who you gonna serve. You know, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait till he comes. Do not wait till he comes, because you will not know what to do when he's coming. If you know, if you read the word now, if you get on your knees humbly and ask God to spare your life first, to show you what you're looking for. You know what I mean? You have to go with a sincere heart. You have to go to God with a sincere heart. You have to go with an open heart. Don't be closed and don't be stubborn. I got two people besides my coworker. I have two people I've been working on, and I would say this is a praise report, I guess, because the first person, about 3 months ago, he posted on my. I had made a post because I had deleted Facebook, and now it's strictly about God, you know. And he had he had commented one time and said something like, "Is Jesus even real?" And that was 3 months ago. Now the same guy, I've been riding with him. I recently quit smoking weed, by the way, to renew my faith, and just judgment time is now. I can't be playing. So I I had I quit a lot of stuff, and that's real. But I quit smoking weed, and that was one of the things. And this was one of my guys who, somebody I knew through weed, through my past life smoking weed, and he didn't believe, you know. And he asked me, is God even real, you know? And he got bashed a little bit on my Facebook from the believers, but at the same time, it wasn't about that, because about 3 weeks ago, maybe no, about a month ago, he started reading his Bible. He started praying, and he started talking to God for himself, you know, and that means something to me. You know what I mean? And not only him, but my roommate. My roommate, he was not a believer. He was truly not a believer. He was truly not a believer. He had no belief in God. This is what I'm telling you. Or this is from what he was telling me when I would try to talk to him about God and testify on behalf of God, you know. It's all about testimony, man. The people don't know God's power unless you tell them what God has done for your life, and that's real. So I'm really just giving them testimony. That's what I'll do. I just give people testimony, really. You know what I'm saying? About how God has really changed my life and saved my life. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, in all areas, spiritually. You know what I mean? And so this guy, you know, he recently started telling me he's been talking to God, and he prayed. You know what I mean? And to me, you know, maybe I don't care if that's his first prayer in his life. To me, that's a big. That's big, because that means you are actively seeking God. You are drawing nearer to God to make it work to where He can draw nearer to you. You know what I mean? You got to draw to God so He can draw to you. You know what I mean? Two people is waiting on God to chase them. God is not finna chase you. God is not gonna chase you. God doesn't need you. You need God. We need God, and we as a people need to understand that God don't need us. We need God. We need Jesus. We need salvation. Salvation is something we should work for, not God should have to work for us. And I believe once we get that in our head, then it'll be a lot easier to understand that. hey, it's not that God that has to do anything. It's really you that got to look in the mirror, start changing yourself and fixing yourself, so you can be, accepted into the gates when it's time. You can be accepted. You could be purified. You could be clean. You know what I mean? So, uh, those was just my dreams. I really don't want to go on too long, but God is pouring out His Spirit right now, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not. There's people I know that's way holier than me, at least in my eyes. But maybe my relationship could be something that I don't know, or I may not know their real relationship. Maybe it's a friend. I don't know, but I'm not a judge. But to me, I'm not the person to be getting visions. I'm not a preacher. I'm not nobody special. That's the thing. And that's how I know God is pouring out the blessings. Because He's pouring out His Spirit and blessings. And visions and dreams to people who want them. You know what I mean? And if you haven't had one, if you want one, I suggest you just sincerely get on your knees and ask God. You know what I mean? And literally ask him, mean it when you ask him. Don't just ask him for a dream. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times, just go by yourself. Go to your hiding place. Go to where you're alone, because when you're alone, a lot of the times it's easier to be with God when you're alone, because God resides in you. He's in you. So when you are alone and you're by yourself, you're just with yourself, and you're with God who's in you. And God can speak clearer to you when you're by yourself. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm just encouraging everybody to stay focused. Stay focused on yourself first of all, because only you gonna get you into heaven. No videos, no other preacher, nothing the next person can do will get you into heaven. Your own actions get you into heaven. And I just want to say, if like I said, I've been having these dreams and visions. I just never posted the video. So if you got dreams and visions and you feel uncomfortable, I felt uncomfortable, but God doesn't give you these dreams and visions to go to waste. So post them if you have them. You know what I mean? And I'll continue to pray for dreams and visions. If I have another one, I will post it and you guys will see it. Um, God bless you. And yeah, that's it, man. Just stay focused on God, because the time is now. Judgment time is now. Things is finna start surfacing to the light real quick. And if you're not ready, then it's gonna be ugly. You know what I mean? It's gonna be ugly. It was hard to see 4 to 8 people get ascend out of 60 to 70,000. That was the crucial killer. So I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be hard to get into heaven, or I'm not saying it's gonna be 4 to 8 out of 60,000. But I am gonna say it's not gonna be no piece of cake or no cakewalk or sweet. It is definitely not sweet to get into heaven. And if you think you can keep living in this sin and God is just gonna, if you think you can keep living in this sin and not repenting, then you are completely wrong, and you will be disappointed when the time for the rapture is here. Actually, the time is here, but when it happens, you will be disappointed in yourself. So get right and pray, stay focused, read your Bible, and change everything you need to change to be right, because God is coming and Jesus is coming back for His bride, and we need to be ready. We really do. So, God bless you all. I hope you liked the video. If you don't, it's nothing I can do about it. God bless you anyway. This is visions I had to share. And may you all have a blessed day. God bless you guys. Get with God.